Good morning. Morning. 你们好，大家上午好。
Good morning, 老师。
Morning,
Morning, 老师。
Good night to see you again. First, I'd like to see if everybody is here. 彭邦威
到老师，
，Good. 唐莎莎，唐莎莎，唐莎莎，彭威廉
到老师，
，Good. 李一彤，
到老师。
黄小恩，黄小恩 ，OK. 杜亚薇，
到老师。
欧阳曼娜
到老师。
，Good. 王秀美，王秀美 ，OK. 方明美，
到老师。
OK. Next one. 花群飞，
到老师。
新美，
新妹生病了，老师。
新美生病了。OK. 生病了，张颖爱
到老师。
，Good. 王美花，
到老师。
宁宁，
到老师，
倪霞，倪霞 ，Where is 倪霞 ？She is not here. 小七，小七
老师。
，OK. 李永富
到老师，
，Good. 张福明
到老师，
，OK. 杜富丽，杜富丽，易普拉欣，易普拉欣。OK, check. I will check again. 唐莎莎
到了，老师。
，OK， 唐莎莎到了啊。新美，新美 is not on the net. 倪霞，
到老师，
新美生病了 ，OK。杜富丽 and 伊布拉辛 ，so 2 are absent, 1 is sick. Okay, now let's begin the class. Just a minute. Sorry. Very good. Mm, sorry.
老师，
Yeah,
你好，
please. 你是易普拉欣？
我是杜富里，
杜富丽。
对，杜富里的。
Okay. Just stay on the net. Don't leave earlier. Okay?
好，老师，好，老师。
Okay. But I haven't received any homework. Where is your homework?
I'm going to send today, 老师。
Okay, good. Last week, we talked about a Chinese culinary culture, food culture. Now today, let's talk about tea culture. Tea culture. Okay. Yeah, in this period, we'll learn tea culture and wine culture. First, let's see tea culture. After this period, I'd like you to understand the history of Chinese tea and Chinese wine, and knowing some facts about the different kinds of Chinese tea and the tea and their features. And then you'd better know the etiquette of Chinese tea and Chinese wine. There are 3 points. First, let's watch the video Chinese tea and discuss. Do you know anything about Chinese tea and what kind of tea do you like best? The 2 questions. Let's watch the video. Chinese tea. Just a minute.
茶
Tea, cha, is the beverage most representative of Chinese culture. Proper etiquette dictates that guests are treated to cha. Many outstanding Chinese poems were created in the company of cha. Originating in China, cha is divided into green tea, black tea, yellow tea, dark tea, and white tea according to its color. The procedures for drinking cha are delightful. Cha, water, wares, and fire are indispensable when making cha. The shape, color, and fragrance of cha are quite important. The water should be clear and sweet. The fire should be clean without odor. The chinaware and purple clay tea sets are widely used. People feel closer to nature by drinking cha.
Cha.
茶
This is the first time watching. Now, I like it to watch for the second time and try to remember some facts in this video. For example, Chinese tea is classified according to what? According to what? And how many kinds of Chinese tea introduced? Next one is, what are the three important things in Chinese tea? Okay, let's watch it again.
Cha.
茶
Tea, cha, is the beverage most representative of Chinese culture. Proper etiquette dictates that guests are treated to cha. Many outstanding Chinese poems were created in the company of cha. Originating in China, cha is divided into green tea, black tea, yellow tea, dark tea, and white tea according to its color. The procedures for drinking cha are delightful. Cha, water, wares, and fire are indispensable when making cha. The shape, color, and fragrance of cha are quite important. The water should be clear and sweet. The fire should be clean without odor. The Chinaware and purple clay tea sets are widely used. People feel closer to nature by drinking cha.
Okay. Now, please answer the questions. Now, do you know anything about Chinese tea? Tang Shasha, I see you. Yeah, please say something about this question.
I think cha is representative of the Chinese culture and usually used to treated the guest when the guest coming. Usually Chinese people will give the guest with tea.
Have you tasted any Chinese tea? Have you tried some?
Once I tried green tea.
Do you like it?
比较苦，但是我还可以。
还可以。你喜欢喝什么样的茶？绿茶、红茶、黄茶、白茶、黑茶。
I think in Indonesia, Huang cha is the common.
Red 红茶 yeah, black tea.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank
But
you.
we drink it with sugar.
Okay, thank you. 林永富
Yes, 老师。
And have you tasted Chinese tea?
Yes.
Yes. And please tell your tasting tea. When
I like
and where?
Guangzhou.
Sorry? Li Yongfu.
Yes.
I can't hear you. And when and where did you drink Chinese tea?
Every day, 老师。Every time.
Every day. That's good. And do you like it? Do you like
Yes.
it? Yes. And what kind of tea you like best? Yes. According to color. And also pay attention to the four things. Four things like cha, water, fire, and wares. Yeah, four things. in making Chinese tea. And three important things just now introduced in this video. Now, let's see, China has a rich and sophisticated tea culture. The Chinese have a common saying, 7 things in the house: firewood, rice, oil, salt, soybean, vinegar, and tea. So tea plays an important part in Chinese daily life. And China is the first country to grow, produce, and drink tea. After a while, I will introduce you the history of discovery of tea and drinking tea, and the art of tea making and drinking evolved through the dynasties. It focuses on the methods of brewing tea, the drinking utensils, and the serving etiquette. The pictures, the first one is picking tea leaves, And next is the picture of about making tea. Just now, we used machines to make tea. Now, the origin of Chinese tea. Tea appeared between these years. Yeah, and tea as a beverage originated with Shen-nong. I introduced Shen-nong several times in our lectures. Now there's Shen-nong Chang Bai Cao. Now Shen-nong tasted hundreds of herbs. He encountered 72 poisons daily and used tea as an antidote. Here, this is the legend of Shen-nong discovered tea. It said that Shen-nong tried 72 different kinds of poisonous plants in a day, and he lay on the ground, barely alive. At this moment, he noticed several rather fragrant leaves dropping from the tree beside him out of curiosity and habit. Shen-nong put the leaves into his mouth and chewed them. After a little while, he felt well and energetic again. So he picked more leaves to eat and thus detoxified his body and all the poison. So this is the legend of discovery of Chinese tea. We regard it the origin of Chinese tea. Now, development of Chinese tea. First, people looked Chinese tea as oblation, sacrifice, oblation, and then we used the ancient Chinese people used tea as medicine, then as food, then later in Han Dynasty, they used tea to drink. In the history of Chinese tea, there's a very famous, important person, Lu Yu. Lu Yu is a man in the Tang Dynasty. He has been respected as the sage of tea, Cha Sheng, the sage of tea, Cha Sheng, for his contribution to Chinese tea culture. So this man is very important in Chinese tea. And he wrote the classic, the book, the classic of tea, 叫茶经. The classic of tea by Lu Yu is the cornerstone of Chinese tea culture. It is the first monography on cultivating, making, and drinking tea in the world. Yeah, this is the first. And Chinese tea ceremony thoughts is the fusion of Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. The core of Chinese tea ceremony spirit is harmony. So let's try to read out the Chinese. Let's try to read out the Chinese. 中国茶道, yeah. 融合了儒道佛学思想，其核心精神是和 harmony 核心精神 the core spirit is 和 harmony between man and the nature, harmony between people, harmony. Now, magical functions of tea. 10 virtues of tea. The tea is tasty. Tea can maintain health. Tea can drive away stink odors. Tea can prevent the attack of diseases. Tea can cultivate energy in the human body. Tea can relieve depression. Tea can improve manners. Tea can convey respect. Tea can soothe the mind. And tea can uphold justice. Also, you'd try best to read the Chinese. The 10 virtues of Chinese tea. We can classify Chinese tea in different kinds. Now, I introduce you 2 ways, 2 standards. The first, according to degrees of fermentation, from low to high, we class tea into green tea, black tea, dark tea, white tea, oolong tea, and scented tea. The first 4 according to their colors. Next 2 according to the way of making. Also, some people classify Chinese tea into 5 types. 5 types: green tea, black tea, oolong tea, oolong cha, and compressed tea or brig tea or dark tea. Here, compressed tea has at least 3 names: compressed tea, brig tea, and dark tea. And scented tea, hua cha. I think that, it's easier for you to remember the different kinds of tea according to its color, their colors. But here, please also remember oolong cha, oolong tea, and compressed tea, scented tea. Some minor types are white tea and yellow tea. White tea, yellow tea. Now, let's talk about the different kinds of tea one by one. The first is green tea, 绿茶. 绿茶. 绿茶 is regarded the national drink of China. That means a lot of Chinese people like drinking green tea. For me, all kinds of tea I drink, all kinds of tea. Yeah. These days, I drink green tea because this is now spring and early summer, you know, this summer is quite cool here. It's quite cool in the area now I live. So I drink green tea. In winter and autumn, I like to drink black tea or dark tea. Dark tea. So green tea is called, because why it's called green tea? Because the tea liquid on tea leaves is greenish. Pay attention to the main functions. Green tea can dispel the effects of alcohol. If you're drunk, we drink some green tea to dispel the effects of alcohol and clearing away summer heat and refresh oneself or whiten skin. And also pay attention, try your best to remember some famous green tea. I think most of you know 西湖龙井 Longjing tea from West Lake of Hangzhou. There's some others. Next one is black tea. Black tea is the most popular in the world. The liquid on the tea leaves are reddish. It's the second largest kind of tea in China. Black tea, not in Chinese, not 黑茶, but 红茶. The main functions: make bones stronger, good for your heart, and warm the stomach. And the features, here, the features account for over 90% of all tea sold in the West. So most of Chinese black tea are sold in the West. And some famous this black tea. Here should be black tea. 功夫 black, 功夫茶, 祁门 black, 祁门红茶, 滇红功夫茶, 滇红滇云南. Next is oolong tea, 乌龙茶. Yeah, oolong cha is born in Wuyi Mountain, Fujian Province,福建省. And it also can be called blue tea, 清茶, 可以把它叫做清茶. Is half fermented tea. Its tea leaves are green in the center and red and at the edge. So the benefits: decompose fat and help people to lose weight. And the features: fresh, fragrant, green on cliff, grows on cliffs. 它是在悬崖边上长的。The famous oolong tea is 铁观音 or 武夷岩茶 还有台湾的乌龙茶。 Next one is compressed tea or dark tea or brick tea. At least, just as I said, at least it has 3 names. Made by compressing steamed tea leaves into molds such as bricks, cakes, columns, and it can be stored for years or even decades. The longer it is stored, the prices of this tea is higher. Aged compressed tea has a ginger flavor, so it's quite good tea. And main function for morning refreshing, making you be awake and help lose weight, reduce blood pressure, and compressed tea is also good for your stomach. If you have some problems in your stomach, drink compressed tea. It's good. Because my father once had problems in his stomach. I bought some compressed tea for him. He drank for years. Then his stomach is okay now. The most well-known dark tea is 安化黑茶，安化黑茶，还普洱，云南的普洱茶。This is quite famous. Compressed tea, 普洱茶。And next one is scented tea. Here, scented tea is a mixture of flowers with green tea, black tea, or oolong tea. It's finely blended and sealed for a time. So it has different aroma, light and medium aroma, medium to strong aroma, according to different tea. This is scented tea. And white tea. White tea is a kind of expensive tea. Yeah, expensive. The white tea is kind of uncured, long-fermented, long-rubbed, fast-dried green tea. So the tea leaves are silver in color and have fine white hair on them. The liquid is yellowish in color and sweet in taste with natural fragrance. So this is the benefits, and the famous is silver needle and white pony. So this is a white tea. And the last is yellow tea. Yellow tea is a type of fermented tea. The fermentation process here being known as annealing yellow. It has an original smell like that of black tea, and its taste is most similar to green and white tea. It's a yellow tea. And sometimes we can't tell the differences between yellow tea and green tea, because the yellow tea and green tea look similar to each other and taste similarly. So like 君山银针, this is from Hunan province, and 霍山黄芽, etc. And then let's see how to drink Chinese tea. Chinese tea etiquette. Tea is a symbol of togetherness. such as just like this in the picture. In the picture, your friends get together and drink some tea. It's a symbol of togetherness and sharing of something enjoyable. If you feel happy, you can invite your friend or your family or your partners to share your joy together and drink tea. And it's a way of showing respect to guests. In China, if someone visits you or to be your guests, the first thing is introduce some tea to him or her and ask for the preference of the guests before making the tea. You can offer your guests different kinds of tea and ask them to choose which kind of tea your guests like best. And then the water should not be too hot, especially when you make green tea. We make green tea with water of 80 degrees Celsius. Not too high, not too low. And some tea, to make some tea, for example, dark tea, you have to boil the tea in water for a while. So boil tea. And the last point is, in China, there's a saying, 4 cups for wine and half cup for tea. That means when you offer wine to your guests, the cup should be full to show your respect to your guests. And when you offer tea to your guests, we don't offer the cup fully, only half cup. Why is half? Because we have a lot of time and we have enough tea to add. When your guests finish drinking, you can add more. And we'd better know tea tools or tea utensils or wares. This is wares. 6 things. 茶道六君子. Yeah. 6. The first is tea candy. I think this is tea candy. And 茶则, chase, 茶则. Yeah, this 茶则. And teaspoon. Here, this teaspoon. This teaspoon. And tea clap or tea tongs. This tea clap. And tea sieve. Yeah. And tea noodle. This is tea. Sorry, this is tea clap here. This tea noodle. This one, tea noodle. The 6 things: tea cups, that's cups, and tea kettle. So next one, through the pictures, let's see how to make tea. How to make tea. The first step is make hot pot. Oh, sorry. Ice cream. Just a minute. This is Kena? Casey? Can you? 李彤？还没有。
没有。
Okay. How about now? 可以了吧？好了吧？
好了，老师。
Okay, thank you. Now let's learn how to make Chinese tea through the pictures. The first, hot pot. That means we put some hot water into the pot to make it hot, and put tea into the teapot and warm the cup. We don't drink the first tea. We use the first tea to warm the cup. And wash the tea on high. Or we pour the boiling water into the tea. And then make tea in the lower spot. This is after the first time of tea. After the first time tea, yeah, we make tea in the low spot, and then put tea into different cups. Then the last is offer the tea. In China, we offer the tea with both hands, not a single hand. Both hands means respect. Here, I'd like to introduce it's a unique tea culture in Bai ethnic group in Yunnan province. 这白族，云南的白族的一种特殊的茶文化。A unique tea culture. 3 cups of tea. This is a famous custom of Bai ethnic group. When your guests visit, the people in Bai ethnic offer 3 cups of tea. 3 cups of tea. Their first cup made from local bitter leaves. Here. The tea on our left is bitter leaves, medicinal. It's bitter. And then we offer the second cup made from walnut, cheese, sugar, sweet. you can imagine what kind of flavor of this tea. This wallet, and cheese, and sugar, and sweet. And the third cup made by mixing prickly ash, ginger, and Chinese cinnamon with honey and bitter tea, pungent, with a distinct aftertaste. The 3 cups of tea, different flavor, different taste. Now, what does the 3 cups of tea symbolize? The 3 cups of tea are symbolic of the 3 stages of one's life journey. The first step, going through all kinds of hardships. Because the first cup of tea is bitter. Our next cup, let's see, the second made from walnut, cheese, and sugar, sweet. So it symbolizes the exploring the joy of life. The joy of life. On the third cup, let's see, the third cup, by mixed prickly ash, ginger, and Chinese cinnamon and honey and bitter tea, pungent. It means the recalling both bitter and happy experiences. This is this custom is closely related to the spread Buddhism in Yunnan province. So the 3 cups of tea. Now, I think this is all for Chinese tea. Next, let's see wine culture. First, let's watch a short video. Alcoholic drinks.
酒
Jiu plays an amazing role in the daily life of Chinese people. Chinese started to brew jiu 6,000 years ago, according to archaeological findings. People have worked hard to improve the process of making jiu for thousands of years. Chinese mainly drink white spirits and rice wine. White spirits are distilled from sorghum or maize. The equipment used for drinking has changed a lot over the course of history. The jiu culture developed with the containers changing from wine goblets to handless cups. As a beverage in custom, it has accompanied important occasions, such as wedding birthdays for more than 6,000 years.
酒
Okay, now let's watch it again and try to remember the facts about 酒. How long is the history of Chinese 酒? And on what occasions Chinese people drink 酒? And what the main kinds of 酒 Chinese people drink? Okay.
Jiu.
酒
Jiu plays an amazing role in the daily life of Chinese people. Chinese started to brew jiu 6,000 years ago, according to archaeological findings. People have worked hard to improve the process of making jiu for thousands of years. Chinese mainly drink white spirits and rice wine. White spirits are distilled from sorghum or maize. The equipment used for drinking has changed a lot over the course of history. The jiu culture developed with the containers changing from wine goblets to handless cups. As a magical beverage in custom, it has accompanied important occasions, such as weddings and birthdays for more than 6,000 years.
Okay, this is Chinese jiu. Now, from this video, we know Chinese wine has a history of how many years? Chinese wine has a history of 6,000 years. 6,000 of years. And the second point is Chinese people usually drink two kinds of wine, jiu. Two kinds. What are the two kinds?
White spirits and rice wine.
Yes, white spirit and rice wine. Actually, in China, there are many kinds of jiu from all over the world, such as in Chinese. I speak in Chinese. 白酒, 白酒, white spirit. 红酒, 红酒 red wine. 葡萄酒, the wine. And 黄酒. 黄酒 is kind of rice wine. 黄酒, especially in Zhejiang province, it's quite famous. And 啤酒, 啤酒 beer. Yeah, beer. And some other kinds of 酒 from Japan, Korea, such kind of countries. So a lot of kinds of 酒 in China. But here in this video, 2 kinds 酒 are popular in China. It's wine spirit and rice wine. And also in this video, the drinking equipment is introduced from the ancient to nowadays to present. Okay, now let's see. Chinese people like to hold wine feasts. Wine has a long history in China and plays an important part in the life of Chinese people. It is comparable with such daily necessities as rice, salt, oil, and water. Just now, 开门7件事，是吧？ Firewood, rice, salt, oil, water, and wine, and tea. 还有 tea。 刚才在讲茶文化时候说了中国日常生活当中的一些必需品，其中酒是一个。And Chinese people hold wine feasts on different occasions. Just now in the video, there's marriage wine feast is introduced, and month-old wine feast. Month-old wine feast. That means a child is born. After month. The parents of the child will invite their relatives, their friends, to have a feast to celebrate the birth of the child. And after 100 days, the parents of the child also invite their relatives, their friends to celebrate the birth of the child for after 100 days. And then there's non-gifting wine feast in China, especially older people. From the younger teenagers, in some areas, according to the different customers, a child when he or she is 10 years old, on the birthday, his parents or he or her parents will celebrate and hold a feast. And the next is being placed on the roof wine feast. That means when the family built a house, there's a bin will place on the roof. After the bin is placed on the roof, the host and the hostess will invite the workers and their relatives to celebrate, and they will hold a feast. On all the feasts, there's wine.都要喝酒的。So from the pictures, the 喜, the marriage wine feast show there's a non-giftive wine feast, and 春季 when Chinese people celebrate Spring Festival. We get together to drink wine, and this picture is the urban area. People get together to eat, to drink. And here I like to introduce a kind of it's also a culture. Drinkers wager game. This is a kind of Chinese wine culture. Drinkers wager game is a particular method in China to help create more joyous atmosphere while drinking. It's used as a penalty to urge drinkers to drink more to create a more cheerful atmosphere. That means in the game, if one loses, he or she will drink. And the winner is really happy to see the loser to drink. And this game forms depend on drinkers' social status, literacy status, and interest. That means different classes of people play different kinds of games. Now, I just introduced 3 kinds of games. The first is general games. A general game. Ladies can attend banquets, may play general games, such as tell jokes. Tell jokes to make everybody laugh and drink, and solve riddles. The loser will drink, and passing down a flower to the base of a drum. That means there's a drum. The drum to a person beats the drum. When the flower stops, the people who holds the flower has to drink. So this general game. Next is literary game. This game is more popular with the scholars and intellects. The people can compose poems when they drink happily. Maybe they compose poems and solve word puzzles and guessing riddles. And the third kind of games is competing game. The first kind is archery. This kind of game was placed long time ago. Nowadays, I think nobody plays this kind of game, archery. And arrow pitching here. Please see this picture, arrow pitching. This is also an old game. And then dice throwing. Here I found the picture here. Dice throwing. You can guess from the picture, and also you can get the dots on the dice. And the last is finger guessing. Here there are 2 pictures. Finger guessing. And that means when you play the game, this kind of game, you speak a number, and your fingers show differently. For example, I speak out three, and I showed my fingers two. So this is finger guess. And alcohol has played an important role in social activities. And first, alcohol and business. In China, alcohol plays an important role in social life. Drinking effectively serves to deepening and strengthening the bonds of friendship. Drinking is always used as a way to relieve misunderstanding and animosity, no matter how tense the situation is. So, alcohol plays an important role in social life. And alcohol drinks, more than another beverages, has a great impact on Chinese artists, as it seems that many of them have produced their best masterpieces in a state of drunkenness. I mean, a lot of literary in China, a lot of Chinese artists produced their masterpieces after the drink. This typical one is Li Bai, and VooV. After drinking the mystery liquid, Li Bai and VooV left us many masterpieces. Here, this handwriting calligraphy written by Li Bai after he drank. And alcohol and health. Chinese people believe that moderate drinking is good for our health. Many Chinese do sip a little alcohol periodically to maintain their vitality and health. So some even soak traditional Chinese medicine in alcohol to achieve a better effect. So inappropriate consumption can cause alcoholism. A lot of Chinese people drink moderately every day. This is wine set. Just now in the video, we watched some, but here there's other kinds of wine sets. On the right, this is the oldest one. Okay, I think that's all for this. There's our homework for this week. First, I'd like you to read the following Chinese and record it. There's 茶文化 and 酒文化中国茶文化是中国制茶、饮茶的文化。中国是茶的故乡，中国人发现并利用茶 中国茶文化源远流长，博大精深。茶的精神深入中国的诗词、绘画、书法、宗教、医学。好几千年来，中国不但积累了大量关于茶叶种植、生产的物质文化，更积累了丰富的有关茶的精神文化。这就是中国特有的茶文化，属于文化学范畴。中国制酒历史源远流长，品种繁多，名酒荟萃，享誉中外。酒渗透于整个中华5000年的文明史中，从文学艺术创作、文化娱乐到饮食烹饪、养生保健等各个方面，在中国人生活中都占有重要的位置。So just read and try best to understand. Our next homework is quite important. It's quite important. I'd like you to form 3 teams. 3 teams. Altogether, there are 20 students in a class. 20. I'd like you to form 3 teams. And each team decides to watch one of the 3 episodes of 中国这5年. This is the video, 中国这5年. I will send it into our web chat. Altogether, there are 3 episodes. I like each team watches 1 episode. After watching, you have to list out the main aspects introduced in it about the development of China and present in a class next week. Here, you can introduce, you can present in Chinese. Also, you can present in English. Okay? Do you understand?
Yes, 老师.
Okay.
Yes, 老师.
The first thing I like you to do is divide, to form 3 teams. And please tell the names of each team to Li Yitong. Okay, Li Yitong, please collect the team and the names and send the names to me.
Okay, 老师.
Okay. Next week, each team choose 1 student to present in the class. You understand? Each team choose 1 student to present.
Okay, 老师.
Okay. And the third one is read the PDF textbook. Read the PDF textbook. Because from next week, I will let's learn something about modern China, the development of China, about agriculture, scientists, technology, etc. Different aspects. Okay, there's some time left today. I'd like you to watch a video online. It's about Chinese tea. is much longer than the videos just now we watched. So please stay and finish watching.
A mysterious ancient trail network extends through jungles and valleys. It is the highest, remotest, and most dangerous ancient trade trail network in the world. It is the Tea-Horse Road, Chama Gudao, a trail network formed under the footsteps of horses and people. Many parts of the trail network are very narrow and scary, since they are so close to the cliffs nearby. The Tea-Horse Road is the oldest caravan path network in the history of China. In the ancient era, it was an important trail network for transboundary trade. Like a corridor, it connects the two cultural belts respectively in the Hengduan mountain area and the Himalaya mountain area, where a diversity of ethnicities lived. Extending from east to west, it meets and converges with the Southwest Silk Road, which runs from south to north. Mule caravans used to travel on the Tea-Horse Road across the Hengduan mountain areas of Tibet, Sichuan and Yunnan, as well as the basins of Jinshanjiang River, Lantangjiang River and Nujiang River. It used to function as a corridor for economic and cultural exchanges among different ethnic groups in southwest China. According to some historical materials, the history of the Tea-Horse Road can be traced back to the Han Dynasty, more than 2,000 years ago. Chinese tea started to export overseas as early as during the period of the Southern and Northern dynasties. The Tea-Horse Road is two-pronged. One is the Sichuan-Tibet Trail, and the other is the Yunnan-Tibet Trail. With the thriving transboundary trade, coupled with the opening of the Silk Road during the Sui and Tang dynasties, Chinese tea made its way to West Asia, North Asia, and the Arab world through the Uyghur area and the western regions. Then, it continued its journey to Russia and other European countries via the Siberia region. As a result, the common trade of horses for tea emerged in the southwestern frontiers of ancient China. Mules, horses, fur, and medicines from Tibet, and tea, cloth, salt, and daily wares produced in Sichuan, Yunnan, and inland China travelled back and forth across mountains and valleys. This trade thrived in late days thanks to social and economic development. It necessitated the emergence of the time-honoured Tea-Horse Road. Today, the Tibetans still keep the habit of drinking tea. The Tea-Horse Road travels across many areas where different ethnic groups live. Since they have different languages, they adopted the Southwestern Mandarin as the communication language, which left important imprints on the Chinese language system as a whole. The Tea-Horse Road originated in southwest China, connected ancient China with the West Asia and South Asia as a significant bridge for economic, social, and cultural exchanges among different ethnic groups. The Tea-Horse Road was a monument in the history of southwest China's connectivity with the outside world. Today, we enjoy highly advanced land, sea, and air transportation facilities. So, the value of the Tea-Horse Road is more about culture. Now, the Belt and Road Initiative connects many hubs along the time-honoured Tea-Horse Road. Thanks to the role it once played in cultural exchanges, the Tea-Horse Road is now admired by people across the globe.
Okay. I think this is all for today. Do you have any questions?
没有问题，老师。
Do you?
没有问题，老师。
Okay, if you don't have any question, let's say goodbye.
好的，老师。
I'll see you next week.
老师，
好的，老师，
再见，老师。
谢谢老师。
谢谢，
再见了。
再见。
见。
再见。